My God, why have you so callously abandoned me? No, seriously, it's a question I ask candidly. Because after having one naturally whose commitment to bear back ran so deep it had to mean being an absentee, having a celestial deadbeat dad would be almost as big of a drag as me having to hear a Pharisee do an Ephesians 2 chapter read and explain what the passage means. And I know you've crafted me to proclaim your majesty, but I am an instrument of praise at times more shaky than a tambourine. In my prayer life, the air bites. You could jump rope floss the gaps between I'm slow to fast, I go then ask. I hold tighter to the past than any lanyard string. There's a long legitimate list you could hand to me. Yet instead, the impression I'm left with from heaven is apathy. So I'll ask again, why? Maybe I've been left in the lurch for the same reason orphans rejected from birth are left on the steps of the church. It's a question of worth. See, my teen parents, as mess as they were just immature. Both childhoods, to be mild put, less than preferred. When adolescence occurred, bees met with the birds. They were swept in a surge, a burgeoning testosterone estrogen word. But if I take the text at his word, before affections were stirred, you knew me, for you breathed breath in the first specimen of dirt from whence they'd inherit the curse. They were reckless, sure, but you're shepherds, so the ears best fit for the question are yours. Why? It doesn't take Socrates' eyes to see the reason you've so obviously forgotten me, hostily donning your feet in metal-studded soccer cleats, then jogging approximately the length of a marathon, at least on a heart that beats to be loved honestly, constantly. And that, without apology, is probably what leaves women who formerly thought of me as a coin-vomiting slot machine, tottering on the beam of Shakespeare's quandary, deciding despondently the answer is not to be. It's because every cell of my fallible physiology causes the queen I most want to keep drawn to me to eventually froth and steam with the same quality of animosity someone who lost deeds, green, and property would want to heave at the fraudulent thief at the top of a Ponzi scheme. After an all of me auditing, it's all I see. I toss things in heaps thoughtlessly. I procrastinate constantly. I shave and leave a koala's autumn fleece at least scattered across the sink. Could what sticks out in me most prominently be the cause of even God's apostasy? Come on, talk to me. Are you so offended you simply would cut our ties due to my penchant for other gods, sentient or otherwise? I've turned disparaging words of man into can and not understanding the damage it does inside. Grabbing Camel Light and a matched strike. Half a pack a night right under nod. Didn't come to mind, I'm the sacrifice, nor the thought that the soft pack I bought had become a shrine. Is that what justified you in leaving me hung to dry? Why? Have you bounced because you're this web browser historian, jotting down and recording all the foulest coordinates of every wild, disappointing safari trip so far I've been from now to my origin? Terabytes of whatever site left my mouth watering. Cyber cookie crumbs you saw that would become cause for my founder to want to split. I'm feeling like a ship down in a dark abyss, forgot about and drowning, where it's soundless. Gallons by the thousands are pouring in. For a while, my doubt seems the only higher power I'm sure exists. But then, all of a sudden, an encouraging utterance bubbles up from within, expressing a profound amount of doubt about it, counting how devout a brother is, but an encouragement to adjust the lens on a sacrifice that pacified a wrath of righteous origin, made after a life none could live. Roman spear pierced lung through rib. Then the sun eclipsed, painting the land in a blackened canvas of the true abandonment Christ suffered in. It says, what if punishment is something this cumbersome crushing is utterly other than? What if what underpins the trouble you're unconvinced is more than a clustering of unrelented injustices and has a crux to it? Because if the one who picks the flourishing of your gifts and growth and abundance above your bliss is up to this, it's poor judgment then. to mistake the hush of his subtleness for button lips. Lack of a publicist ain't the same as slack on a covenant. Trump being the number one thing through last on your bucket list is what the master rebuttals with. Retire to the rubbish bin. The lie, it is what it is, when frankly you know less than 1% what it is. The so soft image of the gold harp in both arms, beloved, is nothing but a myth. When you're custom picked to come with him, every stone sharp on the road marked with suffering. It's tough when in your whole heart you want to see, but the screen is so dark, the Wi-Fi seeming so sparse, you feel so lost, but the whole arc is still buffering. Yet soul, take an unbuckling trust in him, though hands and feet in tandem bleed, you will stand to see him come again.